Are you guys ready to dig in to learn how to leverage email marketing to make a system to use in your business, something that you can very easily do one time a week, one time a month? You can set things up that will already work while you're not working. Are you ready for this? Okay, I have been using Flowdesk for a little over a year now. And I will tell you, when I first started, I was a little iffy. Okay, I've tried a few different email programs and things like that over the years. And none of them really worked too well for me. Some of them were a little complicated. Um, so when I started off with Flowdesk, I kind of started very slowly. I started simple, I started slow, and then I really started to get very comfortable because it is so user friendly. And so because it was very user friendly, it was very easy for me to create emails that would stand out, that I could go back and see, oh my gosh, my customers are clicking on these things, right? This is actually getting opened by my customers. I was able to grab attention. Then I was like, okay, if this is working, then I need to lean into what's working, right? That's what we do. So I leaned in and I just started, honestly, I just started playing with the program. I just started trying to see, what can I do? How do I do this? And I really had to teach myself. And let me tell you, from that point on, everything changed when it came to email marketing for me. My business is run almost completely online, right? The majority of my sales, my customers, everything is being driven online. All right. There are very few customers and transactions that I do, like me showing up with things or, going to work or meeting up with friends, things like that, right? Those are very few. Majority of my business is done this way. The majority of my customers love getting emails. And I know this because I can see the results. And so I want to share this with you. All right. I'm going to walk you guys through Flowdesk, how I use it, how I use it for my business, and a couple different little ways that you can start incorporating this into your business. And of course, I want to share with you, I have a link where you can get 50% off Flowdesk for an entire year. So take 1 year of your email marketing system. Let me tell you, you are going to love this, okay? You're going to love it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to jump right in and we're going to get started, okay? So let's get started here with Flowdesk. So first and foremost, I want to be able to show you guys. Let me just minimize that. All right, so Flowdesk. Here it is. When you just go to Flowdesk, you're going to go to flowdesk.com. All right, you're going to go ahead and create a free account. Of course, hopefully you're utilizing my link because that's going to get you 50% off after your free trial. And that's what I want you guys to be able to do because that's how I started with Flowdesk. And it's just, I can't say how much it has changed my business. It's changed it for the better and I love it. I would probably be lost without it. Okay. I'd have to start all over again. All right, so the first thing that I really want to be able to show you guys is with Flowdesk, there are a couple of different things that you can do, okay? You can create emails, you can create forms. This is something that is a really great attention grabber, and I use this in all kinds of different ways because not only do I utilize Flowdesk for emails for my customers, I also utilize Flowdesk for my email system when it comes to being a leader, right? For my team, for my group, being able to drill down into these segments of groups of people, right? I am always doing, all times throughout the year, I'm doing different programs. The majority of them are ones that I have created and have really built over time over the years. And some are based where it's just solely like a specific group of individuals. Some I will throw it out to my entire group or my entire team. Um, all kinds of different ways that you can really utilize the ability to capture different audiences. So not only, like I said, am I using this for my customers, I'm using this as a leader, as a tool, right? So it's got a dual purpose that it's serving. Now, forums are really, really great because what you can do with forums is you can actually create a form. You'll see I've got some that are down here. I kind of went through and did a little housekeeping of a lot of the things that I had going on. I wanted to be able to utilize these in a couple different ways, right? So let me go ahead and let me open this up here. Let's just do this. I'm going to copy this and I'm just going to open up a new tab and put it on up there. That way we can just look at it all together. There we go. Come on, little guy. You can do it. I believe in you. I have faith. All right. Not happening. It's okay. It's okay. We're going to just do it again. Here we go. All right, here we go. Moving right along. All right, so this is something again. So this is a link, right? So once you create a form, it gives you a link. Okay, this is a link that I can put anywhere. I can put this in my link in bio, right? I can put this, if you don't use a link in bio, your link tree. You can use this on your Facebook page. You could use this whenever you're posting different things on social media. You can use this in your drop form. You can really use this anywhere, right? What this form is doing is just capturing basic information, right? And then it's going to take the people who are opting in via this form and throwing them into a bucket. That bucket is what I've decided is this group of people, and I want them to be able to get this information, right? So one of the things that I did fairly recently is I started really pushing into my movers and shakers and really pushing this out, right? So I created a form so people could opt in if they chose to do this program. And so you see, it's just very basic and simple, right? Are you wanting to move to the next level? That was my whole theme with this, right? My movers and shakers. And it's very quick and simple, right? This would be really easy to fill out, right? For most people, fill in their first name, their email address. What's your primary goal? Do you want to earn more income, make this a full-time income, build a team? Let's move. That's literally all they had to do, right? When they completed this, I didn't have to do anything. It automatically threw them into my Flowdesk workflow. Okay. And so that's the power of forms. So that is an overview really of what forms looks like. So let's start at the beginning. Let's go ahead and start at our audience. And I don't want to show that because obviously it has information on it that we don't want to share. So what I want to show you very quickly though is how you can do this. So I want you, if you're going to start this off, whether you're doing this through as a leader, you want to maybe get your team information or your customer information, you can do this in a handful of different ways, right, from your workstation. So you can go to the reporting tab, you can go to my performance. When you go into my performance is when you can really start drilling down and creating that report, right? So what I do when I actually go in there and I create a report is I go in and I tell it, I just start with a blank slate and I tell it what I want, right? I want their name and I want their email. That's what I want. So when I get their name and I get their email, I export it into an Excel spreadsheet, right? We can do that from our workstation. I export it into there. And then what I do, I just have a column that has their first and last name and a column with their email. And then I just go in and I just make a new column where it says first name, last name, and email. Okay. So it takes me a minute, right, to go through and do that. But you can do it if you know those Excel tricks. You know, there's some little easy, quick tricks that you can do to get there. But never fear, right? If you're not working with a larger team, this isn't going to take you hardly any time at all. The only thing that you have to do is then save it as a CSV file. That is a comma space limited file, right? And so that's the majority. If you've ever used Project Broadcast, if you've used another email program in the past, you're probably familiar, right? It's just a way to import a large amount of data into a program. So I've done that for my different groups, right, that I'm reaching out to. One is my customers. So I went through, I ran a report out of my contacts tab. Fantastic. It's been updated. So if you haven't looked lately, it is updated. I'm not going to open it because, of course, it's going to show other people's information. But you're going to open that. You're going to go to contacts. You can then export it. You can do a whole thing. You can get all the information there you need, right? You can also do that from, again, like we talked about, right? Going to your reporting tab, pulling up my performance report, and just selecting those filters so you just get that info. So you can get that for your team, for your group, for your customers, right? See, totally different pools of people that we're pulling out of. Once you have those, what you're going to do is you're going to come to your audience. And when you're in the audience, you are going to actually you're going to create or upload that CSV. And when you create that, by doing that, it's going to say, okay, this group of people that you've now uploaded, who are they? Right? So I do this every month. I will go into my workstation. I will run a report for my entire group. So it captures anybody who has been added, so anybody new who's joined. And then it also is going to look for duplicates, and then it's also going to look for the people who are no longer there, right? And it's going to go ahead and get rid of those. Now, you may want to keep those people in there depending on what you're contacting them for, right? But always remember that anytime that you're using an email program like Flowdesk here, people have the option to unsubscribe at any time, right? So if it's something that they are completely not interested in, there is always the unsubscribe at the bottom of every single email, right? So anytime that they get maybe thrown in and they're like, I don't like this, I didn't want this, I'm no longer interested, they can just unsubscribe. And once they do that, Flowdesk immediately takes them out, right? So it takes them out, so it no longer will send to that audience, right? So it will no longer send to those people. That's a really good thing, right? Because we want to be good stewards of the information that we're sending out. When it comes to my customers, anytime that I have a new customer, of course, I'm also doing the same thing, right? I will go through any new customers that I've gotten for the month, for the previous month, right? I'm usually doing this at the beginning of a month. I will look through and see who are my new customers this month. I will just grab their info and I will just add them to that segment of customers. Now, I do my customers in a couple of different ways. Under that audience tab, it will show you the different groups that you're creating, okay? So I've got customers, I've got club members, so people who just specifically sign up and are in or on Scentsy Club and have a Scentsy Club subscription with me. You can really detail this out, okay, depending on how deep you want to get with it. Maybe you want to go to just people who like licensed products, right? You could create a whole email or audience segment with just people who are interested in that licensed product that we have, right? You could do it that way. The same thing, like I said, when we're looking at it from a leadership point of view, right? Looking at it from a team point of view. If you want to just look for those people who are maybe lead, title of a lead or above, right? And you're really looking for more of those leadership people, right? And helping them. You can really create a segment that is just for those people. You can also create a segment, and I like to do this as well when I have new consultants. So anybody who is an essential consultant, or I also have a segment that is just certified consultants, right? So I'm really trying to be very detailed in who I'm sending emails to. And that is one thing, like I said, that has made a huge difference. And Flowdesk has allowed me to do that, okay, by really creating those segments of people. So when I am getting a new form, I am able to then go in and tell it where I want these people to go. So I'm going to go ahead and create one with you real quick. So let's say I wanted to create a form that I want to put on my link in bio that I want to capture. Let's go ahead and utilize the licensed product customers, right? Those people who like our licensed product. All right, so I can do a couple of different things. I usually like to go to the full page. The one thing I do absolutely love with Flowdesk, when it comes to myself, I like a little bit of inspiration, and then I like to really customize it to me. So when it comes to that, you can see as I just kind of scroll through here, there's a lot of different, there's a lot of different ways that you can really make this come to life. Maybe you want a picture on it, maybe you don't. It really depends on what you're really looking for, what your aesthetic is, right? Maybe your brand, things that you do, right? So I'm just going to do one that's somewhat pretty simple. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to say customize this one. Now, when you have uploaded your CSV files, right, or you can add people individually too. So if that's too much for you, that's okay. You can just add them individually. If you have a whole list of people, it might take you a minute, but you can do that. So when I do this, or when you upload them, you're going to create a segment for them, right? You're going to say, I want to put them in this bucket, right? This is my customers bucket, or this is my clubbers bucket, or this is my host bucket, right? If we're talking about customers specifically. So I want to choose a segment for who this form, anybody who fills out this form, I want to put them in this bucket, right? So you can see I've got many buckets sitting around over here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I am going to I'm going to put them in the holiday collection for now because I'm going to probably go back and take care of this. So that's the one that I'm choosing, right? So you would go through as soon as you upload your people, right? And you would create a segment, right? Maybe this is for, like we said, licensed product. I'm going to go with the theme of holiday collection because that's where I'm at. All right, so I'm just going to click save there. Now I get to come in here and I get to customize this. And this is the part, oh my goodness, this is the part that is just so much fun. All right, so as you can see, I can come in here, I can start clicking on all of these different things, right? And you guys know how to probably do a lot of this, right? As you can see, it is very user friendly, okay? It's telling me what's happening over here on the left-hand side. So the first thing I want to do, obviously, I want to upload a picture. I could upload one directly from my computer. You also have the ability to create a GIF or to add a GIF or to create a photo from the Unsplash collection. And they have billions of pictures, depending on what you're looking for. But let's make this one fun. Okay, let's do a GIF. And I'm going to come in here. You can see, this is like the GIFs that you get on the phone or whatever, right? So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put Christmas because I'm looking for people who are interested in the holiday collection. Oh, look at that. That is so stinking cute. All right. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go with that one's just cute. It caught my attention. It caught my eye. I like it. I like it. It looks cute right now. Okay. Let's do another one. Let's look again. Let's do Christmas. You see, I could sit here and I could just have fun with this all day long. It's amazing. Okay. Oh, the Grinch. That one's funny, isn't it? Okay. Santa. Oh my gosh. Look at all of these, you guys. It's just so fun. It really, really is. Let's go ahead and let's just do I have such a hard time choosing. It's so silly. Okay, let me just pick one. All right, I'm just gonna pick Santa. All right, there he is. There's Santa. All right, now maybe I don't want this to be purple, right? Because it doesn't really kind of go with Santa and the picture that's happening here, right? Okay, so let's customize it. So I can come over here again. You can be very creative here with your colors. Really depends on what you want to do. I'm just going to go ahead and make it white because I think that's going to help it stand out a little bit more. So over here, so now I can customize this. I don't want to say unleash your genius. I want to say Santa is coming to town. He is, right? Okay. I'm going to put that in the center. I want to make my font color. I'm going to make that black. I can then, of course, choose the font as well. So I can come over there, can make things bigger. It depends on what I really want to do here. All right, so I can also make it all caps. I kind of like the caps on the way that it looks. So there's that. All right, now I want to come in here and I want to customize this. You guys see how quick this is? Okay. Are you ready to decorate your home for the holidays? Let's see here. Get on my exclusive must have shopping list. All right, so again, I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to go ahead and center it. I'm going to go and give it a red. Let's do a bright red, maybe a little bit deeper red. There we go. Okay. All right, there's that. Oh, let me go back to there. Let's go ahead and do caps again. Let's make that a little bit bigger just so they can see it. You can see I've got, again, I can come over here and I can really, you know, customize this. So here I want to say your name on the nice list. I mean, come on, that's fun, right? Okay. It's going to say first name. I'm going to make it a required field, right? I really want that. Same thing with email address. Okay. Email address, I can just leave it as is. It's going to automatically make it required. Now what I want to do is I want to come over here and I just want to change this. So show your forms image on mobile devices. Yes. Preferences, let them opt into different segments. No, I don't need any of that. Let's come over here and let's do the font. Again, we're going to just change our colors. Let's change that font so it just kind of groups itself in. Where's that Oswald? There it is. I love the Oswald. I'll put it in the middle. That way it looks a little nicer. Style, this is where I can change what the buttons look like. I want to go ahead and fill in those buttons with red. I want the border color to be black because I want it to kind of stand out there. I want that font now to be a color of white because I really want it to jump out. There we go. So I would just went back to there. Style again, so I can kind of increase the border size on that. See how that kind of increases there. There we go. All right. Now on here, this gives you an option to go ahead and give them a download. I don't really feel like I need a download here. Let's go over, let's take that out. Okay. Let's come down here. Nope, that's not what I want. Okay, and then I'm just going to say that I want it to be, let's do green. You can see I'm just kind of running through this really quickly. Let's do green. No border color on that one. Let's make the font, let's put it white again. Let's use that Oswald that we've been using. There we go. And then I want that, instead of saying download, because I'm not really giving them anything to download, I'm saying put me on the list. There we go. All right, so now I have everything there in my form, right? I want their name, I want them getting their email, and then they're going to click put me on the list, and that's going to submit it, right? So I could say submit too, but I'm having some fun here. All right, so up here, now that I've customized it as much as I want, again, you could sit here and do it forever. You can also, if you want to just see a quick preview, you'll see this is what it looks like when it's on mobile. I love the way that it gives me that because I like to see what it looks like. Most people are probably looking at things on their phone. So you might just want to give it a quick double check. I'm going to click next. Do you want to double opt in? I say no on that, on everything. When subscribers opt in, you can choose to have it email you with a notification that you've received a new subscriber, or if you're like, I don't want to bother with it, you can click don't notify me. I usually keep mine though. I'm going to hit continue. After this form is submitted, you can click to display a success message or redirect to a URL. I'm just going to go ahead and leave it with a success. And now here we go, right? So I can copy my form. Again, I can put this in my link in my bio. I can really start pushing this out. I can go on Facebook when I'm maybe posting a picture of the new warmer or the December scent of the month, all of those different things, and then say, hey, don't you want to get on my list? Here you go. Fill this out. You're automatically going to be added to my list. Excuse me. So that is a really quick and easy way. So how I utilize that, right, is a really great, quick way to create engagement with new people, right? It's a way for me to, again, capture those specific people. I'm looking for people who are just interested in holiday things there, right? So that's how I'm doing that. Let's go ahead and go over to the emails real quick because I just want you guys to see these. So I actually just did this one the other day. I think I can go in and see. Let's go back. I want to actually just show you. Oops, just going to show you. Let's just say view in browser, just so you guys can see what the email looked like. Pretty much, I'm not going to walk through the form, but it is exactly just like you saw how we were making a form. I actually customized this email template to be what I wanted it to be, right? So I put these things in. I put my logo at the top. Holiday season is here. I talked about the Willy Wonka collection that just came out, right? Gave them a link where they can go directly to that. Obviously, holidays. Again, I like to be able to put in these clickable links. It makes it easy for my customers when they're getting an email, right? If they see this, right, I'm showing them about the Whiff box for this month in November, right? This link takes them directly to the Whiff box. Let's just go ahead and show you. So when they click on that, where does it take them? It takes them directly to my website. So all they have to do is go, oh, there it is. Click, add it to the cart, right? And there we go. And then of course I always do, a thankful for you. And then I have my social icons at the bottom. So that's just an example of just a very quick and easy email, right? What I personally do, because I am somebody who I am very busy throughout the week, I've got a lot of things going on. I like to kind of sit down on the weekends, and that's really like my planning ahead time. And that's when I sit down and I create these emails, right? And then once you create your email, another wonderful feature that I love with Flowdesk is you can either choose to send it immediately, you can choose to send it right then and there, or you can schedule it for an upcoming date in the future. So here's an example of how I use that. Like I said, on Saturdays, on Sundays, I usually have a little bit more time to sit down and really just be creative. Most times you'll find me on my couch with my heating pad, either listening to something, some music on the TV through the speakers, or just watching something in the background. I've got my MacBook out and I am just kind of working, right? And so that's what I'm doing. I'm just creating emails. And what I'm doing is I'm creating emails and setting them up to send out either throughout the month, or I'm setting them out like to go out in upcoming months as well, right? I actually will set things out to go out months in advance now. That's how far ahead that I've been able to get in my business. because of this, right? Because when I'm in a creative mode, I don't know about you guys, when I'm in a creative mode, I want to keep on going in that mode. Like I'm in the zone. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? I'm in the zone. I want to keep going. I just want to get it out. And that's beautiful, right? Because when I don't have the time during the week, or maybe next weekend when I know we're going to be busy with family things, right? I want to be able to have all this done so I can work ahead and stay ahead in my business. And also, again, if I'm doing more leadership roles and working on things that way when it comes to emails or forms and workflows, then it's going to work just the same. Okay. So it really helps me do that. Um, so that's a really great feature there, scheduling those out. So when you schedule those out, when you get all of your things set up, I want to show you what a workflow looks like. So you can see I've got some funnels happening over here that I've kind of worked with over time. Again, like I said, I went through and I just kind of did a little house cleanup the other day. But this is what I want to show you. So when you have your emails and you have your forms collected, so you want to see what happens, right? How to create a workflow, right? How to create a really great way to be able to just automatically send things out. It's fantastic. Okay. All right. So I'm going to create a new workflow. I'm going to just do this welcome sequence because it's the first one here. Customize it. I'm not going to really go through all this again because we really kind of already went through all of that. The first thing that you want to do though with a workflow is you want to add your trigger. What is the beginning of your workflow? What's going to start this workflow off, right? So what's going to start this off when a subscriber is added to a segment, right? Remember, a segment is our audience. That's our buckets. Those are our individual buckets that we've put people in. And remember, we can be very specific with those buckets, okay? So I want to choose who this is going to go out to. So who is this going to go out to? This is going to go out to the people who I just created that form for, right? I was capturing people. I've put that link on my bio. It's on my Facebook, getting people excited. Maybe I've also included it in an email to send out, right? People who want to decorate for the holidays or looking for decor, looking for those holiday scents, right? So all of those things, I want to pick the segments. I want to pick the people who have opted into my holiday collection. Anybody who goes in that bucket, this is what I want to begin to happen. So I can create an email, right? So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to come here. And I am going to, let's do this. I want to duplicate an existing email, right? So maybe you've already created some emails. There's one that I've got, right? I've got this one, the holiday collection that I sent out. So instead of resending that out, right? Anybody who new opts into the holiday collection form, they're automatically going to get this email, okay? They're going to get this email. A subject line, you can create this however you want it. This is the subject line that goes out on this email. I am so thankful for you. That's just kind of what I've put in there. But again, you get to customize it every single time. All right. Another thing, so when they sign up for that, I can actually create a time delay, right? So I can come in here and say, okay, when they sign up, I want it to wait 1 day. I want it to wait 1 hour, 1 minute. I'm going to say I want it to go out in 3 minutes after they sign up. People like instant gratification. Okay. So, but you can see I can really choose to do this however long in advance that I want, right? So when they fill that out, so when they're added to that segment, when they've gotten into that bucket, it's going to wait 3 minutes and then it's going to send this email. Now you can really sit here and go again, right? You can see here they have automatically kind of created a workflow. Again, you can customize this to you. So after you've sent that out, do you want to wait 30 days? I certainly don't want to wait 30 days, but you can also do it as a day of the week, certain time of day, a specific day of the year, right? See how how specific you can get with these things. So I'm going to do a certain period of time, and I'm going to say after 5 days, then we're going to go ahead and we are going to do another email, right? I'm going to exit that out. I'm just going to select a different email, and I'm not going to create a brand new one. Let's do, I'm just going to throw this one in here, make a copy of this one. But again, of course, you would want to really, make sure that the emails that you're sending out are lining up with these people, right? So I know this one shows fall, so let's just pretend that it doesn't. Let's pretend that it's just another follow-up of a holiday. Maybe on this one, I would like to include the wish, and I would like to include the It's a Small World new collection that came out, different things, right? I really want to be able to capture a lot of different things. Again, I can create a whole new time delay. You can just continue to build on this workflow, right? This is never ending at this point. Okay, you continue to add and add and add and add. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to end it at that point. So I'm just going to delete these steps that are in there, because we don't want those in this workflow. And then once they get that second one, actually, let's see, you know what? Let's see here. Take an action as a next step. Let's go ahead and go on that. We want to take the following action. And then we could go in here and add them to a different segment, right? Maybe this email here talked about, are you excited to see sneak peeks of the spring and summer catalog that will be coming after the first of the year, right? So maybe I create a new segment that is going to be a bucket full of people for spring and summer sneak peeks, right? That would be a really good opportunity to add them to a new segment, right? That I could then begin working off of. But we'll go ahead and we'll just take that out. We don't really need that, but we could do that if we wanted to. But once they get that email, then it's going to end. It will say subscribers will now complete this workflow. Then it's done, right? But again, you see what's kind of happening here, right? I'm creating a timeline of events, of things that I want to happen. There's so many different ways that you can go through this. You can take a condition. There's one step after that. Where do you want to move them? Again, continue to create away. Once you're done with that, you're going to hit publish, and it's going to actually put it into a workflow. That's going to put that into the workflow there. Obviously, I don't want to do that because I don't want those subscribers going, but then it would actually come back down to here. And this is the one that I just created. So there it is there. And then I could come back here. I can edit it as I need to. Okay. So if maybe you've decided to create a new email, maybe you want to add in another email, you've thought of something else, or a new product has decided to launch, and you're like, I've got to make sure that my holiday people know about this, right? Because everybody in that workflow is all about holidays. And I want to make sure that they're they're getting to see what is coming out, what we still have left to go, right? Maybe you want to do a reminder about the shipping deadline, things like that. So that is all those workflows there. What is happening? What the main takeaway I want you guys to really understand with the workflows, once you have created these emails, again, you don't have to go back and remember, did I email all those people? That new person who signed up, if you've already created emails and you've already created a workflow and they've opted into that workflow, or they're in the bucket, you've put them into that bucket of maybe new teamies, right? Then they're going to continue to get those emails. For example, new team members, for me, it kind of looks like it's a little bit different during that first 70 days, right? Because I'm trying to make sure that I'm helping them during those first 70 days. But after that, I usually will spread it out to twice a month after that, right? Kind of just touching base with a real quick email. It's not a long one, but it's real quick. It's to the point. I try and give a new topic or a theme when they're kind of getting started. So I try to introduce new things. within those emails, right? I can embed one of my YouTube videos. I can give them a link to the Facebook group page that we're participating in right now. I can send them a Canva download, right? All of those things I can include into that email and create it so they're getting all of those things. But again, that workflow is going to automate it for me. So once I've got it set up, I don't have to remember to go back to send it. Mind blowing. When I started doing this, it took all the guesswork out of doing a lot of that hand holding, okay? Because then what I was able to do is work on responding and building connections and working on relationships with customers and with team members, okay? I'm telling you guys, that when it comes to Flowdesk, you are going to find that it is so much more than you thought it probably was. Now you can also come over here, you can get the analytics, you can go through every single email that you send out. You can actually go through, you can see how many people clicked it open, what did they do. Let's go ahead and look at the results from my holiday email that went out. You'll see that it went out. I had some clicks. I had some opens there. My open rate, my click rate wasn't that great, right? It could have been better. So maybe my email needs to be a little bit more exciting next time, right? So now I kind of know. I can see that the majority of people are opening it on mobile. Remember how I said we could preview what it looked like on mobile? So that's when you really want to look to see what are they seeing on their phone? Does it look different than when I'm on the desktop version, right? So that can kind of help. It also shows that the majority of my emails went out, right? So there weren't a whole lot of bad emails out of there. You'll see that I did have 3 that bounced out because obviously either old emails or bad emails or the server time, whatever it was, right? Whatever happened there. There are 4 people who did unsubscribe. Remember, like I said, people have the option to take themselves out of that bucket, right? That's what we want. We want people who they don't want that information. They don't need it anymore, right? So it helps me. I don't have to remember, oh yeah, take that person out. Flowdesk does it for me. And one person did mark it as spam. Maybe they couldn't remember that I was their Scentsy person, right? This one went out to a lot of my customers. So as you can see, 641 people. So that was the bucket that it went out to. So again, depending on what you're really looking at when it comes to those buckets and how you're organizing them is going to make a big difference. All right, so there is Flowdesk. I want you guys to see also where you can actually find this link. So I'm going to put it in the description of the video. I'm going to put it down below. But if you are following me on Instagram or anything like that, you can see I've got it already linked. This is the link in my bio on my Instagram. You can click right there and that is going to take you directly through my link so that way you get to save 50% off on your first year. So that's really a good, great, wonderful deal. That is how I got started, and let me tell you, it was a game changer in my business. It saves me a ton of time. And I honestly don't know where I would be if I wasn't really communicating out with the majority of the people who I am building those relationships with. Like I said, customers, team members, group members alike. All of those groups, I'm able to do that with just one program. So there is Flowdesk for you, all about email marketing and so much more. Okay, guys, you know how much I love it, so I'll be talking about it more and more as we go on. So watch for more videos. I will be doing more tutorials on it. And as always, peace, love, happiness. Happy Thanksgiving if I don't talk to you before.